Ready, Keith?
Oh, yes.
You ready, Jess?
So ready.
We're ready on the cameras. I'm very excited about this. So, I'm stoked to talk to you about this thing. It's been a long time coming. The Chase Bliss Audio Dark World. This thing has been asked for in one form or another by everyone in the gear community for a very long time, and finally Joel obliged, and Chase Bliss has made a reverb. Whoa. I know, it's a big deal. Chase Bliss Audio is from Anoka, Minnesota. A cool fact about Anoka is that is home of former college football coach Stub Allison. And I know what you're thinking. It's an analog reverb, right? Chase Bliss only does analog stuff. It's an analog reverb. It's not an analog reverb. It's a digital reverb. So there. So yeah, despite what a lot of people say, you can get analog reverb in a stomp box form. It's not very common, but you can see it sometimes with short spring tanks or short bucket brigade lines, sort of like an analog delay would be. But neither of those are really optimal, and that's not what Joel's about. So, without further ado, here's the first fully digital Chase Bliss product. The Dark World. Chase Bliss. Bliss. Okay. Hopefully the guy with the leaf blower doesn't come over here. I heard him down there earlier. That would be really annoying.
That'll be me.
Okay. So you see here we have the dark and the world section. The world section has spring, plate, and hall. That's pretty self-explanatory. Those are representing the real world spring, plate, and hall sounds you would get. And these algorithms were developed by the team over at Keeley Electronics. Over here we have the dark channel, and you'll see we have mod, shim, and black modes. These are where things get a little bit, or actually a lot weirder. We got a modulated reverb that is not necessarily what you would expect. It kind of replicates a dying VHS tape hiss. It's really trippy. Shimmer is, a typical shimmer with the up octave, or where this gets unique, you can set it the other way and have it go to a down octave. So up or down can get really, really trippy, and it can bounce back and forth between the two. The black mode will hold your notes in the tail indefinitely until you change your pick attack, and you set where you change it with this decay knob. So that one is really trippy and kind of hard to explain. You'll just have to hear it. The other switch we have here is a routing switch. So you can have the dark into the world into the dark, or all the way over here and have them run in parallel to each other. Then we got an overall mix control and an overall tone control for the tails. So we can go 100% wet or dry, and then bright or dark on the tails. The pre-delay and the dwell are fairly straightforward. Those do the same thing on each of the settings. That just depends on what type of reverb you're looking for. The decay and modify knobs really change completely depending on what mode you're in. It totally changes what these knobs do, so you'll have to consult the manual for that one. We got selectable true bypass or buffered bypass switching. That's entirely up to you. And of course, in and out, MIDI in, and expression or control voltage in right there. Also, if you're familiar with Chase Bliss products, you know they got all these little guys. We're not going to get into every feature that this thing has today. I'm just going to run through some of my favorite sounds and show you those settings and what they sound like. I tend to like these in parallel more often than in series. There's some exceptions to that, but a lot of this is going to be me running them in parallel because it's just cool to get the two sounds side by side instead of kind of driving each other. Yet again, we are playing the Jennings Guitars T-style, whatever they're calling it, because I still don't know, but that's what it looks like. There it is. Loaded with McNelly pickups, sinusoid cables, and into a Benson Vincent for the tones. one to look at. This is weird. Which one should I
Look at
look
both at the
look
same time.
So for this section, I am running the Hall reverb on the world side and the shimmer reverb on the dark side, again in parallel. I've gotten no pre-delay actually on the world side, and I've got it almost fully wet, not quite fully wet, but I'm just gonna do some weird droning taparoo stuff. Here you go. I really like the plate mode in this pedal. I'm a big plate reverb fan, so that's not too surprising. So I'm just gonna noodle around with these settings here, set pretty conservatively, and just to show you what plate mode sounds like. So for this section, we got the spring reverb on with lots of pre-delay and just a little bit of dwell on. And we're using the black mode, which basically it freezes your tails. So if I just play one note, it's gonna hold that indefinitely until I play another note, and this sets how, and it could still, depending on how hard I play, it may still hold the original note. It's entirely envelope based, so if I have to play the next note that I want to sustain, I have to play it harder than the original note. So we'll show you some of that. All right, this time we wanted to show how it sounded with a little dirt. So we got the Solid Gold Effects Super Drive, providing all the grit that we could need. And we're going into Hall mode and the mod mode. And I think we talked about this earlier. The mod mode, you can hear the repeats decay as if they were coming through a dying VHS player, which is pretty awesome. So we'll show you that. We're also running in parallel again because I love it. That's why. That is the Dark World from Chase Bliss Audio. Check it out at chaseblissaudio.com and then search YouTube to try to find a real demo from a guy who actually knows what he's doing.
This new Chase Bliss pedal's gonna get so many likes on the gram.
Up high, I can't. Up high, it feels like I'm alive for the very first time. You weren't supposed to see that. So yes, despite what some people say, you can get analog reverb besides, okay, let me say that again. Blah. Despite what some people say, yes, you can get analog reverb in a pedal form. You can do it with a spring, that's been done in the past. You can do Despite what a lot of people say, yes, you can do analog in stomp back. This is the whole thing. This is what we do the whole time.